This is our copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Boom. Jonocide, Izzy Pop. Happy New Year, everyone. We made it 2026. Can you believe it? We are here. Can we set them off? Do we get some pyrotechnics this time? There we go. All right. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Hopefully. I could see I'm not having any audio issues on this end. Thought I'd ask. Yeah, we're gonna kick back tonight. I see a lot of people have been streaming today. We got the day off from the shop. I don't know, my brother, who knows? It sounded like he took the day off, but you never know with him. I gotta check and see. Maybe he popped in and getting a citizen's alert there. All types of other sounds going off on the background. Someone was just revving their vehicle. There's rumbling going upstairs. So it's a live night tonight. Hopefully you're having a good one. Hopefully you had a good New Year's last night. Heard about some gnarly news out in was it Switzerland or something like that? Something about big bar fire, loss of life, and a lot of loss of life, and yeah, unfortunate happenings. So prayers to those people out there. But yeah, we're gonna kick back here and get into some things I got lined up. Kind of just all fell together. Uh yeah, kind of bouncing back from the last stream. We were talking about Mount Baldy and the tragedy that happened there. I got more into uh the case of the 19-year-old that lost his life up there, and he seemed like a really solid kid. Was into sailing and some other like outdoor activities, so sounded like he was into the outdoors and maybe had some experience hiking, and unfortunately lost his life as well as two other people. I'm not too clear yet, so I don't know if he was on his own or the other two people were part of his group. But yeah, it was sad news. And Mount Baldy, again, we've been bringing it up a whole lot. There's been some Bigfoot reports from there, possibly, and then yeah, a lot of accidents. And so it's just again the reminder of us, to be careful. We're stepping into a new year here. Let's make it to another one. And yes, we'll get into some things that are touching with Mount Baldy again, and then some other squatchy, I guess you could say, news. There was also another stream, a couple streams back, we had mentioned about, and I titled it, I think it was like Bigfoot Easter egg. And we had brought that up because, what up, Jeff? Happy New Year, brother. And here's some, you probably got, I don't know, it was weird this year. Of course, thumbs up. Yeah, don't forget that. But we're gonna set off some more. There we go. And out here in SoCal, we get a lot of fireworks, but the rain, so we had rain going on and it wasn't too heavy, but maybe in certain areas they got a lot more than where we were, but we didn't hear the amount of fireworks and the pew pewing and all that you usually hear when there isn't rain. But I did hear a few things going off. Even today earlier, I heard a few things going off. And they usually go off throughout the year too, but of course, New Year's is the time when it really pops off. And yeah, every year. And we'll bring that up. We're gonna get into that in a minute because there's a we got another report from there and we'll get into that. And so I was bringing that up because I know maybe some people didn't check out the last stream, and so yeah, if you're familiar or not familiar with Mount Baldy, it just seems to be always on the news, and a lot of times it's not good. And yeah, so just a heads up. And I've been wanting, it's been calling me. I've been definitely wanting to hike that mountain and not in the snow. And in summertime, you got to be careful with the heat and as well as other things. But yeah, so let's see, what were we talking about? Give me a moment. It'll come. Let me have a look here. So yeah, we're getting into one of the last streams, the Easter egg. So we're bringing up a video game. Was it I think it was Fortnite. And if Wildman comes in, to him it'll be Fart Night, I'm sure. We're just hanging out with Wildman on another chat. I think Jessica still might be on, but yeah, I was making the rounds, hanging out in everyone's live streams earlier. I seen Jonacide. We were hanging out in a couple chats. Roger, there's Roger as well. We're hanging in a few chats today. And so I made my rounds, hit those thumbs up for everyone going live, and props to everyone doing their thing. And we're gonna do ours tonight too. So thank you for coming in. And there's brother Nighthawk. Happy New Year to you. Salute. And let's see, let's get brother Nighthawk and Dagger spells. Happy New Year to you as well. There we go. Cool. We got the thumbs up and some fireworks for all of y'all. And Bigfoot fades. What up? You got some firework action too. And welcome on in. And so, yeah, we were bringing up Mount Baldy. And so the Easter egg. So I think it's Fortnite, the video game. I'm not big into gaming. I'm an old school gamer. I was from the era of like, and I remember Atari and all that stuff. We had that uh different Nintendo, but then like arcade games. My thing was Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, and there was a few other games like that that I really got into. Um, but I always loved video games, but didn't get deep into the gaming how it is now. But there, and much love to Kara. She's been sending messages. And what up, Joe Monk? Salute to Joe Monk. We were calling you. We are trying to summon you the other night. Happy New Year to you, brother Monk and brother Garrow up in the house. We got Scully Pop. Whoa, now it's really popping off. Yeah, tonight's been a good night for the streamers. All of y'all hitting that live and going live. Scully, I was hanging out in your last stream, brother. You're doing your thing over there. I was just kicking back. A lot of times I just kick back and lurk. Won't say much. So just want you to know that. And yeah, I hope everyone had a good start to the year. Didn't come in hungover, too hungover or hungover. Thank goodness I'm not. But cheers to everyone. And yeah, man, it's 2025. It was a wild one. It was strange. We had all types of stuff going on. I seen Christina Gomez doing a recap. She does the aliens and UFO stuff, covers all that, and good to see her rocking over there. She's coming in. She came in strong. Came into 2026 strong. So salute to her. And what up, Rich Shot? Yeah, man, bless up. And we're gonna chop it up a bit tonight. Y'all roll them up in the chat. Y'all know what to do in the chat. Network. You know how it works. Let's get it going. And I do have a few notes to help me out, and we will be taking notes as well as we go, as we need. And Gustavo, feliz año nuevo, brother. Welcome in. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, we got to set off some more. We're going to be setting off a lot of fireworks since they didn't set off so many in the city, it seems. Come on, camera. Oh, yeah. So what's up with that? Did you notice that, Jeff? Did you notice less fireworks, less pew pewing? And it's probably obviously due to the rain. We got a little more rain today. They were able to pull off. Luckily, they were able to pull off the what is it? The Tournament of Rose Parade, which happened here in Pasadena. Just right over the hill here. Not even right over the hill. Like South Pasadena is right up the road from me here. And there was one year when we were youth, back when we were little youth. Yeah, my brother and I, we got invited. We lived in a different part of town outside of LA at the time. And it was a nice city of Glendale, California, if you know it. Yeah, I had lived there a few years. I got some ties to there. And yeah, we got our neighbors invited us to go and check out the Rose Parade, and they would camp out the night before. People camp out, and it was fun. We set up tents and everything, and we're running around Pasadena as kids, and it was a cold night though. So last night it rained, so there was people out there. There was a few people. The news showed a small little crowd, but I was like, are those people for the parade, or are they maybe just locals, like not even like street locals, if you know what I mean? But yeah, no, it seemed like people turned out. And but I don't know if you were camping out there, it must have been cold because like in the middle of the night it started pouring. And so yeah, we did the family thing. It was cool. We hung out, did the fam thing, and had a nice coming in of the New Year's. We actually checked out the possum drop. I was hanging with Garrow Midwest Night Watchers, and they were streaming. So that was super cool. And see, damn, here in hillbilly heaven, always guns, fire, and blowing up. Yeah, dude, it's like that right here in the city too. So it's everywhere now. And it's funny because when I was up in the sticks, I was like, yeah, you get away from the city, but nah, they do it up there too. People pew pewing all the time. It's like the thing to do. I even did it. And yes, people over the hill blowing stuff up too. It's like, dude, what are they doing over there? Crazy. But yeah, a lot of Vietnam vets, and salute to them up in those hills up there. And can't tell them a damn thing. And yeah, so the possum drop was gnarly. I was showing the family, like, check it out, because so I was talking about Granny Spot last time, the raccoons, and that my brother had to pull one out of the house that had decided to croak down there. And he did that during the last storm. So props to my bro. Yeah, he didn't want any help either, whatever. So yeah, he pulled that off, and it's the little old lady from Pasadena. Huh. I don't know if I know her. What up, rock star? Happy New Year. Welcome on in. Y'all hang out in the chat. Y'all know how to do it. Uh so yeah, we have a joke, an inside joke, because she gets a lot of wildlife. There's some hills there. Her neighbor has like practically a farm. I think they have like goats and chickens and all sorts of stuff, which is super cool because they're right in the hill. They have a dirt road going in, so it's totally uh cool to have. I think it's possible to have that there. They're not in like an enclosed backyard, or they seem to have space. And so yeah, a lot of wildlife too. So you get the Jeff was mentioning all the typical wildlife, the raccoons and the we get into the heavier stuff too. We talk a lot about the bears and the cats like we did last time, but yeah, a lot of the raccoons, skunks, and all that stuff. So we have a nickname in Spanish for them that Granny made up. She calls them the rabi pelado. Yes, el rabi pelado, and it's a little inside joke, and that's the possum. So it looks like almost like a bald rat, and so yeah, I was like, "Oh, look, Granny, they're dropping the rabi," and she was tripping out. Everyone was kind of tripping out on it. It's super funny, and yeah, we checked out a few other things and did our little ritual for the New Year's. Anyone do the grape thing? Had some good pie. My niece, who's a super foodie, world traveled super foodie, she always brings and bakes stuff, and yeah, she got a scored some sort of passion fruit pie. Yeah, it was amazing. I'm a big fan of the passion fruit, the maracuja. Ever have passion fruit juice or just the passion fruit as well? Super good. They have the purple one and they have the yellow one. Depends where you're at. Might come in a different. Possums are cool, right? Yeah, I see more people. Yeah, hanging and just chilling out with everything: raccoons, squirrels. A lot of people hanging out with wildlife more, which you know I don't recommend it for everyone. Remember one lady up north one time. There's this area up in Humboldt where the elk come around, and this was it was on a curve on the road, Highway 101, and it is dangerous area, no pull out really, and she's over the guardrail, and the elk are in the road kind of on boats, and she's trying to pet the elk, and something told me that, yeah, something not good was gonna happen, and yeah, I had to pass by. I didn't get to see, but I don't know, seemed dangerous. I wouldn't recommend that. Joe Monk. I left the watermelon and some, what did he leave? Watermelon pears out for the Bigfoot in the area. Right on, man. And Joe's up in the Sierras. We've been talking about, yeah, why did we mention Joe last time? We were talking about Sierras. I'm sure it was maybe another report in your area. And Monk, yeah, Joe, Senor Monk probably has Bigfoot in his backyard right now as we speak. Yeah, send them a greetings, Joe Monk, if you get any activity tonight. Nighthawk, I like watermelon and pears too. Super yummy. We used to have a pear tree, and one of the last harvests from the pear tree, I'm sure it must have been like, man, over 50 pounds for sure. It was heavy. And actually, that pear tree had a different type of pear kind of growing off the side of it. They were like what do you call those volunteers or little suckers on the side, but it was a different type of pear. So what up, Russell? How you doing? Happy New Year to you as well, up in the Horn of Oregon. Lucky you. And Bigfoot Fades is up there too. And so last time, I don't know, we dropped the link, an invite link for someone to jump on if anyone was interested. I don't know if it worked out. I don't know if someone was waiting backstage or what. Hopefully not, but we could try that again tonight, and we'll get into these few things I wanted to share with you all. Let's see. So let's get into these reports right away. If you're new here, welcome, and if not, yeah, I met a fellow YouTuber earlier today online. So welcome to her, and I followed her back. and she looks like she's pretty active, like does streaming and interviews people and all that. So I'll be checking her channel out. Cheers to her. And there's Dead Fish. Happy New Year's, Ozzy. Suzanne, Happy New Year to you as well. You're like in what is it, January 3rd out there already in Australia? Hopefully you had a good one. And so the Bigfoot mapping project, we've been keeping an eye on it. And we're gonna keep another eye on it coming into 2026. Yeah, we're gonna keep it going here, checking out the Bigfoot mapping project. So check that out. And all these blue dots here we've done recently in the previous streams. So if you'd like to hear me read you some Bigfoot reports, go peep it. But yeah, we've covered all these blue dots. And so that's been interesting. And we have a green one here now. So it looks like New York. You know, I was in a stream. It was New Year's late night. So after New Year's, so we did the thing, fam thing, hung out, had a good time. And but I had to drive. We all had to drive back home. It wasn't too far, but it was far enough. And when I was leaving, I seen two cars driving without lights. Yikes! And then I get on the freeway, and it's all cool runnings until all of a sudden it was like a sea of red lights, and I was like, "Oh no." So we had to slow down, and yep, sure enough, it became a parking lot on the freeway. I was able to actually even go live. I went live, and it was like 2 something in the morning, and yeah, I felt like we're gonna be there a while. It wasn't too long. It must have been, what, maybe half hour at the most, and we had to wait, and yeah, it was a accident. I don't know if it was just I only seen one, and it was unfortunate because we're Tacoma gang here, TRD gang. Yeah, I love Toyota Tacomas is what I'm talking about. And it was a newer Tacoma, and yeah, it was just done from the front. It was completely smashed, and hopefully the driver was okay. I'm not sure, but there was, like, yeah, all the medical services, CHP, and all that. And yeah, we eventually got through that. So that was a bummer. But yeah, it's those dangerous. It was raining too on top of that, and New Year's. And, but here we are, in one piece and ready to rock. So looks like what is it? This is Utica, and there's Syracuse off to the left there a bit, New York. And we do have peeps in this area. Let's see if there's any. And then I see a major highway. It looks like there's another, actually, this little red squatch here, or not little, but red squatch there. So previous report, not too far away. And I see a Rome, New York. Anyone? Here we go. We're going in a little closer now. Delta Lake, big body of water, not too far away from there. It looks like some mountains up in this area here. Cam Roden. All right, let's click the report. It says 9/7, so 2000, 1:17 p.m. They got those 7 minutes in. We're gonna clear the throat here. Let's see how long this is. All right, we could do this. It's not too long. Yeah, reports are too long. There was a few we ran into that were hella long, and I'd probably still be reading them now. So we kind of scanned through it, and so if they're like that, we will go, just quickly through it, and maybe on a later date, if I do go through it and find any information, then I'll bring it back to y'all. Let's see here. Was playing catch with my brother on my uncle's remote property in our horses field. As we played, we heard large branches in the woods snapping and breaking. Approximately 70 yards in the tree line. Let's make sure I'm on here. Am I on there? Yeah, cool. What up, y'all? What up, Flat Sixer? Happy New Year's, bro. We're gonna read a couple Bigfoot reports here and then get into I don't know what we'll get into that after. I'll have to check my notes. I wrote notes tonight and I'm ready to take more if need be. And what's brother Nighthawk saying? Is he talking to me? And see, you should get Chadwick Gales to interview BD. He's a boots on the ground investigator in PA. Is that your boy? Does he pop into your chats as well? I've been checking out your boy, and I believe he's over on TikTok now as well. And I've been back active on the TikTok, y'all, and I appreciate everyone. A lot of new follows over there. So head on over there if you're a TikToker. Yeah, we've been chopping up a lot of little videos and stuff, and a lot of those videos you guys have them here on the YouTube, and I'm talking about recent stuff. So let's see, the elk I had didn't taste anything gamey. It was yeah, bro. That's been my experience with the elk. Good to see you as well, Flat Sixer. And cheers to you, brother. Hopefully you had a blessed start to the new year, as well as everyone else. And yeah, let's get back to this report here. So what they're playing on uncle's property in the horses area. Started hearing some branches and sticks breaking. Approximately 70 yards in the tree line, a large bipedal silhouette was observed swaying back and forth. So that's another detail we've been noting. And you know, it's one I've heard about and noticed a long time ago, but we've been emphasizing on certain uh parts of reports, things that Bigfoot does. And that's one of those things that we hear a lot is the swaying back and forth between trees. It began to copy our movement. If we move left, it moved left, and so on. An immense sense of fear fell on both of us, and we immediately ran out of the field and fled the area. I can still remember this encounter vividly 25 years later. Dang, that's intense. And just describing that part of when the fear hit, like realizing this thing is like moving back and forth. You're probably wondering the first few seconds, like the brain's probably trying to process and comprehend what's happening or what that is, you know? And then it's kind of moving, and then you start realizing it's moving like you are too. And then you see silhouette of something. So it's probably all black. Uh-uh. time to time to make tracks of your own, right? Wow. And then let's see. So yes, they heard wood knock. Can we get some wood knockage here, brother? Thank you. And then so color, so no additional comments on this one. It says color could not see a clear color. The silhouette was observed in the tree line. So I'll say black on that. Yeah, it could have been any color. And so New York area in the 2000s. So anyone out there in this area of New York or any area of New York really, but have any activity during the 2000s, some information there and hey, we'd like to know about it. So yeah, one of the Great Lakes not too far by. Is that one of the Great Lakes there? Right? Lake Erie. Lake Ontario. A lot of UFO activity around those areas as well. And there it is. Cool. Bigfoot mapping project report. And oh yeah, I guess I got some other we'll check out the other websites. Sometimes I'll just bring up this one, which is my favorite one, and then BFRO, which is a favorite to some, not to all. And there's Shelly and Juliana. Happy New Year, ladies. Let's do this. Too bad it doesn't have sound effects. I guess I don't know. You could. There's some fireworks going off outside too, but Mike ain't picking that up. All right, let's get into the whole Mount Baldy thing. So recently there was three hikers or three found hikers. Mount Baldy. There's an area of it called the Devil's Backbone. And we know places with the name Devil usually have high strangeness around it, strange missing persons cases, uh, cryptid activity. We've talked about the connection between the word devil or diablo and stuff like that with Bigfoot, even, right? Uh, yeah, it makes you wonder. Yeah, they were called creek devils, uh, mountain devils. Come on, chat. Y'all can name a few. Even the wood booger, right? The booger, boogeyman. So they're these dark, almost creepy, uh, what's the word? But yeah, like a connection to these names and these things. And so it's not all nice, and a lot of us like to think of it as these things as a positive thing, Bigfoot meaning or representing honesty. I like that one. Or Bigfoot being the teacher, teaching you about nature, yourself. And I like that as well, So it goes both ways. Once again, this realm, and excuse me, I was chiefing a whole lot of mountain just a little while ago, so my throat's a little groggy. But I do have some drink, so cheers to that. Yeah, so we've gotten into all that, and I love talking about it. And also, so I was talking about the video games earlier. There's that new video game, Bigfoot Life, actually came out in early November. It actually came out on my birthday, which is super cool. And that's why I even more of a reason why I got it. And I still haven't played it, haven't figured it out. I gotta download some stuff and get it going here. We'll get that going for this year for sure. And so that, and then there's other video games that have been out before, Bigfoot games and stuff like that. But it made me think of like just the icon, right? Bigfoot and pop culture and how embedded it is, and now with the gaming world, I was talking about gaming earlier. Um, how big the gaming world is, how it's changed, and it's on a whole other level. Like I haven't even kept up with it, and I just know that the gamers are making big money now too, and it's wild. And then the quality of games too have really upgraded, and yeah, so it's like wow. And so we've seen that Fortnite. So I got the Bigfoot Life game, and it seems really fun. So stay tuned to that for that. Um, so the Fortnite, and then I like to bring up news and articles that come up related to Bigfoot, especially if they're recent. And so I seen the Fortnite article, and I was like, oh, look, another gaming Bigfoot related thing here. And so we touched on that. And then tonight there was another thing that popped up. And actually, this article is from like a few weeks back. And so, again, y'all network in the chat, get to know each other. There's a lot of cool people in the channel. I mean, that in the chat that have channels. So get to know each other, and maybe you might find some vibes that you'll enjoy. And Mad Pax, cheers again, brother. And I see Mike up in the chat. And so yeah, let's see here. This is boom. Insider Gaming Network. And I seen this and I was like, oh wow. So this was on December 12th of last year. Damn, 2025 is gone. Um, and it says where to find Bigfoot in Fortnite, full location guide and what it does. And so I thought that was pretty cool. So another Bigfoot Easter egg. And when we talked about, let's see, yeah, the Fortnite. So this is a Fortnite, and I think we covered this one. And I'll just scan through the article really quick because, and look at this, gives you a map here. Where's Bigfoot in Fortnite? Location explained. Bigfoot can be found walking around in the Redwood Forest Park. I like that. Uh, there's other cool thing they mention about Bigfoot's appearance here on the game. So peep that out. Maybe you have a gamer in your life and you might want to, or maybe they've found Bigfoot already. Maybe they play Fortnite and have found it. Yeah, let us know. Let's see. Something else I wanted to get into as well. So where's that? Where's that game at? Let's see. Nope, that's not it. Let's be. Where'd you go? Here we go. So I found this article today. So I'm not too. I've heard of this game. Never played it either. I never played Fortnite. But Fallout 76 2026. Maybe someone listening is familiar. Maybe you play this game. And it says here Fallout 76 teases 2026 content. And this one I'll also go through. Um let's see. It says Bethesda has teased some 2026 content for Fallout 76 with a cryptic quote referencing one Toxic Valley location. Some Fallout 76 fans think they have already deciphered the message, which appears to hint at a new cryptid. Hmm. And see some gnarly cryptids there. And right here, devs are teasing a new cryptid. This looks like almost like a Wendigo-ish or Goatman-ish. It's like Mothman-ish back there. What is this? A rake or something? Pretty gnarly. But look, would Bigfoot fit Fallout 76's cryptid gallery? So I had gone through the article earlier, and yeah, so they were talking about Bigfoot possibly being the new cryptid for this, and a lot of the fans do believe so. So I'm thinking, yes, it's going to be a possibility. So Bigfoot making appearances in a lot of games for 2026. And again, like talking about how, yeah, how embedded in our culture it is. We have had several movies out there, and I'm surprised there hasn't been like I mean, Harry and the Hendersons was great. I loved it. Um, and all the Bigfoot movies that are out, I enjoy them. I geek out. I watch them, and even the older stuff. And so, yeah, it just makes me think like, oh wow, well, will this inspire maybe some gamer maybe to look further into the topic? You know, a lot of this newer generation, a lot of them still don't know too much about, as we're learning more about Bigfoot and, you know, the previous investigators and people involved and incidences and stuff like that. Maybe it'll inspire some of them to get into it, and maybe with some of their gaming skills, they could bring some of those tools and skills over and step the game up over here. Let's see. Oh, so yeah, that was the incident. Very unfortunate tragedy. Let's see. So I wanted to get into after that. There was so yeah, still talking about culture. So the Bigfoot topic being like embedded into our culture and stuff like that is it made me think, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's like pop culture, right? So it's like new and mainstream and all that, but it made me think of cultures, native cultures that were already here and had already annoying and a relationship with the Sasquatches. And we've heard of that. And so I was like, oh yeah. So totem poles came to mind. And there's some in the Pacific Northwest. So I was like, yeah, let me look up some of those totem poles that I know are way up there. And I found this website here, and we'll check it out. I haven't even explored it yet, so we'll do this together. And there it is. Yeah, anyone check this out? Seems pretty cool. So exploring the world with Curtis and Peggy Meckimson, wandering through time and place. So there's a home about this blog bios, 5 reasons to travel. Hey, you could give me one. Count me in. And yeah, look, before I forget, we're just talking about the devil connections and these beings and places and stuff like that. This looks like a book here, and it's Bush Devil Ate Sam. So the Bush Devil Ate Sam. Whoa, I was like, man, that sounds like a interesting book. And it says the Bush Devil Ate Sam is an important record and serious story, yet told easily and with delightful humor. This is one of the most satisfying books I have ever read because it entertained me thoroughly and made me feel better informed. Hillary Custance Green, British author. See, so you could click on that, and then some First Nation totem poles north to Alaska, and so right there you could see. I believe that is the wild men or the wild woman. And a lot of times I've heard it they would depict them with the lips like that, almost like they're whistling. Not sure if that's all true, but yeah, I could see that. And there's Dragonfly. What's up, Dragonfly? We've been hanging over on TikTok. Appreciate your support over there. Been sending hearts. And so yeah, so I feel like yeah, it's been in the in human culture, yeah, ever since way back, and it's a trip to see it how it's evolved to even now. So now in video games and it's all over the place, right? Bigfoot making the rounds everywhere. Some more totems there. Super cool one. And this is let's see. It's like up in BC. And it almost reminds me of like the Olmec heads. That's what comes to mind when I look at that. Just something I'm thinking off the top of the dome here. You know, those Olmec domes were massive. So yeah, check out the website there. There's I'm sure more to explore. And that just that caught my eye. Thought I'd bring that up. The Nighthawk sharing some let's see, I've experienced them my whole life and more because I'm First Nations Lakota and Shawnee Cherokee full blood. Yeah, it's amazing, man. We're blessed to have you and thank you for sharing your wisdom, brother Nighthawk. Y'all know I had a trippy dream with brother Nighthawk in it. And you know what was interesting, brother Nighthawk, is that dream I was back in my childhood neighborhood. A lot of my dreams, and I haven't had them lately, but this one was what last year, I think it was. Um, but a lot of my dreams go back there to my childhood neighborhood, which is not far from here. And yeah, that particular night you were there. We're out in the street, and I don't know what it was, but it wasn't. It was all good. I was just like, "What the hell, Nighthawk, William? What are you doing in my dream?" Yeah, yeah. Go get that coffee, bro. Rest up and have a nap in the chat. No problem. Thanks for stopping by. All right, so again, I'll bring up let's bring up this Mount Baldy thing. Maybe for those that didn't check out the stream yesterday or haven't been informed, but we cover Mount Baldy a whole lot since we've been out here in Southern California, and unfortunately, there was a tragedy where three hikers, one of them being 19 years old, uh, were found, and and I don't know if all of them, I would imagine, were on a Devil's Backbone. We showed a little clip on the previous stream of my brother hiking Devil's Backbone, and I got some more pictures and little few little short clip videos also from that particular hike that I could share with you all. I think we've done that before, and we'll do it again since uh, Mount Baldy's back on our radar here. So yeah, again, prayers for them. And Mount Baldy is closed at the moment, and I do believe it's due to this incident. Um, and yeah, it's crazy. We've been reporting all the previous incidents from the previous years, what the past maybe couple years for sure. I think all the way back to Julian Sands. I know we got into that, and I think that was in 2023, but I wasn't streaming them. Uh, P&W coffee does sound good. Cheers to you, brother. Happy New Year. Got to make sure I say Happy New Year to everyone. Want to wish everyone a great New Year, and you got to be safe. P&W, you be safe out there, brother. I know you get out there a whole lot. So, and trip out on this. So we've been on the whole Mount Baldy thing lately, and I talked about some Bigfoot reports that came out of there, and we'll check out. So last time I tried playing Instagram video from, so the channel's name I forgot it last time, and it's the Bigfoot Files, I believe, and you can find them on Instagram, TikTok, and on YouTube. and he's been posting quite a bit. Actually, this morning he posted a short video on the YouTube, and he was over at Mill Creek, which I'm not too familiar with, but it's going to be somewhere around here, not too far, because I know the range he's been squatching at, and did a video from there showing how yeah, the creek was raging. It's more like a starting to look like a river, and so yeah, dangerous stuff. People have been swept away from these mountains here, and we've reported on those as well. There was one lady who got swept away. I think I want to say maybe a year or two now, from the Angeles National Forest right behind us, right here, and she was never found. It's weird. Uh, you would think maybe, further down the stream, and I don't know how bad it must have been, really raging for that to happen, but still, you would think at some point something would be found. But yeah, nothing yet. And yeah, again, warning. It's a big warning when you go out to these places. Got to be extra careful. So, Mount Baldy, we just left the Bigfoot mapping project. And usually, after the Bigfoot mapping project, I immediately check the BFRO. And I did that earlier today. And I think what we streamed, was it yesterday or the day before that? And seeing that there was a new report added to the BFRO. Or actually, we read a report that wasn't added, but we found it online and it was from December. And I believe then they added a new report. So we touched on the new report. And today I checked the BFRO, and you could check it yourself there for any recently submitted reports. And so I did that. And here we go. So reports posted since January 1st, 2026. So it says here November 2025, California, San Bernardino County, Class B campers at base of Mount Baldy. All right. Manker Flat report possible Sasquatch rock throwing in nearly empty campground around 3:30 a.m. So let's check this out. So I was like, what the heck? Here we go. We've just been touching on Mount Baldy, and check always checking for reports. The last one we got from there, and we'll show it again since it's still up here. Uh where are we? It's gonna be somewhere right here. No, that's Trinity. We touched on Trinity right there. I must have taken it off, but it was another one out of Mount Baldy that we had touched on that was recently added there, and it was a police LAPD officer who heard screams at the base of Mount Baldy, and so we covered that one as well. So let's check this one out here, and it says report 79588, Class B, submitted by witness LW on Monday, December 22nd, 2025. Campers at base of Mount Baldy, Manker Flat, report possible Sasquatch rock throwing in nearly empty campground at 3:30 a.m. So the year 2025, their season was winter, November. And that's another thing we've been keeping an eye out on, the some of the reports. We're getting into the desert reports a few days back over in the Lancaster Quartz Hill area, right over these mountains here. And a lot of those reports were from out of the 70s, and we had some recent ones that we touched on, and we were keeping an eye on the months there, but a lot of them seem to have been, I think it was like May and June, but there were some that were actually in November, if I remember correctly. So that caught my attention, and which goes back to one of the theories of them possibly using the PCH I mean PCH. Yeah, they're using the Pacific Coast Highway. And I said PCH because Sovereign Cosmic Wildman and I earlier we're talking about the PCH on Jessica's chat, but the PCT, my bad, the Pacific Crest Trail, and yeah, so people have theorized, and some pretty big known people, and I'm with it too, that the Sasquatch could be using it like a complete highway to get all the way up and down, however long that trail stretches, which is from the border of Mexico, and they probably go beyond that. So that's why I'm interested in Mexican reports as well. I think there's something kind of untapped there, um, and then all the way up to Canada, of course, and who knows further up. Uh, and so yeah, maybe on a certain type of year, you know, maybe in the colder years when it's colder up in the Sierras or in certain other places up north, maybe some come down. I don't know. It's a possibility, or we just have some locals, and then they just rock these areas out here. They just use these mountain ranges down here and don't go any further. So checking for any of the details here. There's the coordinates as usual, which is awesome. And nearest town, Mount Baldy, Manker Flats Campground, Mount Baldy Road, and quite a long report. So let's see how far we get through it. It says, I was with my son, 15, and two nephews, 14 and 17. We went up to Mount Baldy to camp. My son wanted to check it out, and it was closer than Big Bear, which Big Bear is another spot. Been there, camped as a youth there, but definitely some squatchy vibes. A lot of reports for Southern California. I have noticed out of the Big Bear area where we usually camp. We arrived at the campsite about 8:30 p.m. It was dark the whole drive up the mountain. We arrived at the campground and it was deserted except for two tent sites. We chose a site nearest to the bathrooms and set up camp. The boys found the least sloping spot, cleared it of rocks and stones, and pitched a tent. We had a fire, listened to the coyotes, which was scary in a campfire story sort of way, not frightening. We went in the tent and lay there awake, listening as coyotes came into the campgrounds until one of the campers set off a car alarm to scare them away. uh, then we went to sleep at 3:30 a.m. Ooh, some would say like in between witching hour. Some people I've heard disputes of when the witching hour really is, but I think 3:30 ish is you're kind of pretty much in it. I was woken up by the sound of rocks hitting the ground. Damn. Like 10, 15 rocks hitting the ground from being thrown from a distance and then rolling a ways towards us. No pebbles. It sounded like substantial rocks. Then we were hitting the ground. They were hitting the ground on the side where our heads were against the tent of the wall, then rolling towards us, but never hitting the tent. Oh my goodness. That scared me, and I stayed motionless, wondering this was a rock slide. No, too close. And then thinking we must be on a really sloped site, and somehow they were rolling towards us, near walking by the dislodging them, by and dislodging them, and trying all the scenarios that would cause this until it stopped. Eventually, we went back to sleep. In the morning, my son mentioned it, and my oldest nephew had heard it also. We went outside and found about 8 rocks, baseball to softball size, roundish, that were 4 to 10 feet from the tent. They were dry on the bottom, as opposed to the other rocks that were wet in the bottom, indicating they were new as opposed to those that had been there a while. Also, the ground had been cleared of rocks for the tent. My nephew and I tried to replicate the way the rocks hit the ground and rolled, but we couldn't throw hard enough to replicate it. There wasn't enough slope for the rocks to roll, which led me to believe they had been thrown from a distance with some force to cause them to hit the ground and then roll. Also, there had been some sort of expertise, huh, in the way, yeah, in the way the rocks rolled and got close but didn't hit the tent. Yeah, they say Bigfoot has an arm. Them Sasquatches makes me, I picture it, chucking like a slider. They could probably do different pitches, curves, and I didn't make a lot of the whole incident since I had 3 kids with me, and since I'm the mom and auntie, adult in charge, I didn't want them to feel uneasy. We went up to the snow resort that morning, and I asked the older gentleman who was directing the parking lot traffic, "I'm staying in the campground down the road. Is it safe?" He gave me a weird look. Yeah, it's Mount Baldy. There's some strange people up there I've heard from other folks. So just a heads up, like the dude at the bottom of one of the trails that looks like a worn out Popeye and gets really violent. And I've heard some other strange stuff with having to do with people up there. So just a heads up, folks. And he gave her a weird look and said, "If I told you it was safe, then what would happen?" Hmm. That creeped all of us out, and we went back, packed up, and drove to Home Valley and Big Bear, where there was snow, and we were the only ones at the campground. But I felt no weird vibes there. We camp often, a lot of dispersed camping in the Holcomb Valley and up in Mammoth also. We have had bears come through at midnight at Coldwater Creek and Mammoth, RIP Victor, and test the bear box. Let's see, yeah, and test the bear box and found mountain lion tracks outside the tent in the morning while off road dispersed camping in Holcomb Valley, cracked our windshields from frost at Silverwood Lake campground. So we have had our share of excitement as we do this often, but never had such a weird experience as Mount Baldy. The vibe was palpable from the start. All right. So let's see here. Also noticed on the drive up, there was a blue light off the road that looked like about a half a mile into the forest. The kids noticed it, thought it weird, and I said probably a cabin. We heard a gunshot at around 10. We heard coyotes howling for about an hour from about 10:45 to 11:30. I recorded some. There was a long howl that didn't fit, but we thought nothing of it until the rock incident. I don't think I recorded that. It was a bit after most died down. The whole place had a weird vibe that I chalked up to being too close to town, Claremont. Yeah, I know Claremont. And thinking about crime. Hmm. Other witnesses, 4 people were in that tent. 2 heard it, woke us from sleeping. Let's see other stories. No, not until after I told this story. My sister, then she started sending me Mount Baldy Bigfoot story links. Hmm. We got the time and condition, pine forest, deserted campground. Sorry, and that's about it there. So interesting, interesting report some rock throwing, and we've heard that a lot too. I've experienced. I don't know if they were rocks. Could have been like acorns, um, but not falling from the tree. We had oak trees around the house, near the house, so we would hear the acorns fall and drop. But there's one particular time where it was just like seemed like it was being rained on, but and it wasn't windy. And I got video of that, and you could just hear all these sounds of like either rocks or acorns or something being thrown, and you didn't see anyone around. There shouldn't have been anyone around the house, and there wasn't, or at least I don't think. And yeah, but actually, like I don't think I've had rocks like that thrown at me. I haven't experienced that yet. And I don't think. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It is freaky. It's like, damn, something like that smashes your head and you're done. So see Claremont Mall. Yes, the Claremont Mall. Yeah, there you go. Andrew knows Claremont Mall, good old days, West Covina Mall too. Yes, sir. And actually we were out that towards that way, the the Covina way recently. Let's see, Woo Reezy, Happy New Year's, brother. Let me set off some more fireworks. Oh yeah, don't forget that. Come on, camera. Make it difficult. There we go. Boom. So yeah, man. So let's check out what the Bigfoot files. So shout out to him since I forgot the name of his channel last time. I still haven't gotten his name. We've been sending a couple messages here and there. And yeah, I'd like to he's asking for someone to explore with him. And hey, I'm like, dude, count me in, bro. Let's give it a shot. Uh let's see here really quick. So Mount Baldy covered that. Let's do this. There's another one. So this database has been interesting, and it's a Bigfoot report database. We had a weird moment last time where, yeah, it seemed like they took a report of mine somehow, which is all good. It was super cool. And we read it live here, and I was like, what is this? This is me. But yeah, I did a little digging for Mount Baldy here, and I won't get into because I know we did already did a stream on Mount Baldy Bigfoot cases, and there's some good California ones, and of course there's Claudia Ackley there, and maybe we'll touch on that a little more. More Yucca Man reports. I think we touched on that one. Let's see, quite a bit ahead of California, which is always fun and exciting. See Crestline. I think that's where Claudia was. Let me see here. Big Bear. There's a bit. Oh, here we go. Former Marine and park ranger experiences unseen force in Mount Baldy Wilderness, California. So that sounds pretty trippy. Let's check this out. I hadn't checked this out yet. Hopefully, it's not too long. Let's see here. It's not too bad. Well, if it gets exciting, then we'll continue with it. But if it starts getting a little meh through the through the report, then we'll just cut through it. But let's see here. So 2005. And so in 2005, a witness named Matt W., who has a background as a former Marine and police officer, reported a disturbing encounter while camping in the Mount Baldy Wilderness area, located in the San Gabriel Mountains of San Bernardino County, California. Matt and a friend had been regular visitors to this rugged terrain, often camping and hiking in the backcountry at least once a week. The location was known for its challenging access due to difficult terrain and poor road conditions. We just recently talked about the Highway 2, what is it? Angeles Crest Highway, giving way up by the Mount Waterman area there. Completely gave out. So that road there is going to be completely closed for a while, it seems like. And, but we could still get up the mountain. So that's still cool. We just can't go that far back. So bummer for a lot of the people who actually use that to cut across. Yeah, they cut across the mountain there to get from LA or to get back in the desert side back there, the Antelope Valley, what is it? The Ohio Desert area. So the incident began as two friends set up their campsite. Matt described how they attempted to gather firewood by using a technique called a monkey fist. Anybody know a monkey fist? I haven't learned that one yet, but sounds interesting. Joe Monk. Let's see. Throwing a rope around dead branches to pull them down. However, they soon grew tired of this method and found an old redwood tree trunk had fallen. Let's see. I don't know. There are redwoods up there. I did see, what was it? Oh, possibly like some sort of sequoia up by the observatory on I'm trying to remember the name of the observatory. It was right here. In these mountains, San Gabriel Mountains. So it's possible. Who knows? Seems a little odd, but so fallen redwood tree trunk. Okay. Standing about 7 feet high, Matt climbed up the high point of the trunk, standing shoulder width apart and holding an axe while chatting with his friend. Doesn't sound too safe. Out of nowhere, Matt reported that he was flipped in the air upside down and fell towards the rocks below. He recounted a hit. I hit a branch on the way down, gouged into my ribs, and slammed onto the rocks. In a state of shock, he looked up to see his friend standing over him. Visibly shaken and in disbelief, the friend claimed that it appears as though an unseen force being had thrown Matt's legs over his head, describing it as an event that defied explanation since there was no ice or snow on the trunk, and Matt had solid footing. Hmm. Having sustained injuries, Matt asked to rest while his friends remained in shock. Yeah. After recovering, Matt set about gathering branches for the fire. Did he go back to the monkey fist? Hmm. But soon a flying log struck him in the knee, causing another injury. Damn, Matt. They out for Matt tonight. Despite the unfortunate series of events, they proceeded to make a fire to ward off cold temperatures and spirits, which were around 10 degrees Fahrenheit that night. Man, it's a cold one. While gathering around the fire, they experienced a bizarre occurrence. Large rocks hurled at them. Okay. Taking notes here. Rocks being thrown at Mount Baldy. Be careful, folks. Could be that worn out Popeye at the bottom of the trail as well. So yeah, there's a video out there on YouTube. These guys were exploring Mount Baldy area and very knowledgeable. The guy grew up in the area, and they were talking about this dude, and they ran in. He actually comes out in the video. I couldn't see him for sure. I was like, dude, I want to see this worn out Popeye dude. So in case I ever go, I know what he looks like because they say he's really violent. And yeah, so that's how I learned about that. So watch out for that dude. And let's see here. So rocks being hurled. At them from surrounding darkness. The witness failed to hear any movement from the forest that could account for the rocks being thrown, leaving them baffled. In an attempt to defend themselves, they fired back with wrist rocket, yeah, and a pack of bearings. Hey, let me tell you, David and Goliath. But the assault ceased without any response from the unseen entity. After a long day, they decided to turn in for the night. Matt slept in the back of the truck. Yeah, good choice, Matt. Where they had set up with tarp to shield against the wind. In the middle of the night, he was awakened by the sound of loud scampering around the vehicle, which filled him with dread. Yikes. He lay there quietly, holding his pistol for comfort, but the noise suddenly stopped when his friend whispered to him that he heard something outside. After the noise ceased, they cautiously opened the flap of the truck, only to find nothing but silence and the cold wind. The pair ventured out the next morning to check for any signs of who or what could have been lurking around their camp, but found no human tracks. They did discover fresh cougar tracks about 200 yards away. Yikes. Which added to the mystery of the night's events. Despite the presence of wildlife in the area, they could not they could f- they could find no evidence of what had startled them or who had thrown rocks at them the previous night. Ultimately, Matt concluded that due to the unusual occurrences, they would never return to that location again. He expressed an underlying belief that whatever force interacted with them was giving them a warning. Yeah. While he acknowledged that there were no well documented sightings of Bigfoot in the area, and that's what I hear. Even one of my best buddies out there in the field, uh, he doesn't. And we'll see right now. Take a look. Yeah, no well documented sightings of Bigfoot in the area. He couldn't help but relate his experience to stories he had heard about mysterious beings in the forest. This unsettling encounter left a lasting impression on both witnesses, leading them to question the nature of their experience in the wilderness. And it changed Matt's perspective on venturing into remote areas. Oh, Matt. Okay, so the source, okay, it tells you the source here too. So it was YouTube. Well, I like it better than TikTok. Although TikTok's not a, you find some stuff there. Right on. Thank you, Shelly. I appreciate it. And excuse me. What's up, Daryl? Happy New Year to you as well. I was busy concentrating. I didn't fumble too much there. I'm getting better at it. Getting better at the reading. And thank you for putting up with it. Yeah, so Mount Baldy. Mount Baldy now taking reports. Yeah. Yeah, let us know if you got any Mount Baldy story. And I have heard from some people recently that they had experienced some trouble. I got to get the story right, but they ran into some bad people up there and they had a skedaddle as well. So it got really strange and I think there might be a little dash of paranormal with it too. So uh yeah, I'll work on getting that again. And I briefly had mentioned it when I had heard about it. I just wasn't able to like interview the people or anything. Let's see, trying to reach my inner brain and wake. Uh-oh.
Bigfoot fades to the office, please.
Uh-oh. The beginning of the year, you're getting called into the office. It's all good. A lot of people don't know is office is where the session's at. And what sort of session, some may ask? Y'all don't have to ask. If you know, you know. Bring your gear. And yeah, in case you do have some Mount Baldy reports, let us know. And let's see here. Where did we do that? Right here. You can try the hotline. I still don't know what happens if you call that number. Give it a shot. Who knows? I might answer. And who knows, if you could send a text would probably be best. Be like, "Hey, I'm this so and so, so you give me a heads up because you know how them scammers are hitting hard, y'all. You know, 2026. Be careful, scammers, folks. I got one the other day. I told you they said it was like a LAPD detective, and he wanted to know if I had seen some lady I had never heard of before. And then the end of the message had a weird thing that I don't think a LA detect like a LAPD detective or whatever law enforcement would leave. And I was just like, mm-mm. Sounds like some scamming. Yeah, there's an Instagram there for the shop. Shop was closed today. Thank goodness. Did you Bigfoot fades? Any were you any fading going on today? No fades? And I told you out here you gotta be careful because people like fades, getting their nice fade, but catching a fade too means you get beat up. You don't want to catch, or you're doing the beating up. But yeah, catching a fade, it's a LA thing, I think. SoCal for sure. But yeah, I like to keep you all informed with street lingo, different languages, anything I learn that may help you. I'll put it up. And for my Oregonians, much love to you all. Let's see, can we show camera? Here, let's pause camera. I gotta deactivate it. Probably didn't have to do that. What up, Oregon? Much love. And actually my much love to my nephews, my sis. I think they picked it out for me. They know what I like. They got me some jammy jams, got some green pants that go with it, and this cool little Oregon shirt. Bucky's cut and trim trees. Sounds like a grow or something. Bucky's grow. Come trim these trees. All right. See here. Really quick. So we got the Mount Baldy Bigfoot report, latest report out of BFRO. And then let's see here. So shout out to Jeremiah, Bigfoot Society. Congratulations. I think he hit, what was it, 1,000 uh yeah. Was it 1,000 shows? And he was on 1,001. I think it was the last show is the best of 2025 Bigfoot Society. That's definitely on my save to watch later. And yeah, I seen his post, and yeah, congratulations, Jeremiah. Great job. And I see he's trying to use less of AI, which is also super cool. And yeah, a lot of good reports coming from there, and we have been enjoying using their database here. So they got a few reports for Southern California. We were talking about Crestline earlier. We've done shows on Arrowhead, Lake Arrowhead area. Touch on reports there. Crestline, this is where I believe Claudia Ackley was from, or where she had her sighting. And I always get Crestline mixed up with Ridgecrest, California, which I think a little further up here, but and Ridgecrest also, I believe gets reports. If I'm not mistaken, I'm with the Crestline reports, but yes. Sorry, it gets a little confusing. But so I'm looking for so Mount Baldy. Let's see. Where are you, Mount Baldy? From this area. It's gonna be maybe somewhere up here. Let me There you are. So you got the 215 here, big freeway. So Mount Baldy is over here. And so we talk about the PCT, Pacific Crest Trail, and a lot of hikers go missing there. And actually, what I've learned is that supposedly that one of the main spots where a lot of people, you know, run into trouble on the PCT is in like the San Diego area. I forget the name of the exact area there, but a lot of people get caught up in that area there and don't make it out of there or run into trouble. But it seems like, yeah, there's going to be like a transition almost, and it's connected here. You could see the 15, 215, and it seems like the 15 also. Maybe I don't know, but a transition here of mountain ranges, and it could be the same mountain range. I don't know. But right here, it thins out, but you can still see some greenery. But if they were running up and down the ranges as we are theorizing, the PCT and all that, or maybe other areas, and I do think they come down to the foothill communities. Um, I would imagine I'd be curious. I'd go down and go lurk and see what's popping in some of the foothill communities if I were Bigfoot. Um, and I have found some police reports of like what is it, prowling, that had my attention. We had touched on one of those, and it was over more on our side of town here, but in a foothill community. It was interesting. It really made me think, like, oh, was it really a person, or could it have been Sasquatch? But yeah, so you got some, quite a few reports according to Jeremiah here, his database, and Mount Baldy being over here. So, could they just be going through some of the same Sasquatches? This is it's a good distance, but for Bigfoot, I think I wouldn't think it's too far. It's not too far fetched there. And Robin M, Happy New Year to you if you're in the chat. We were hanging out earlier in different chats, and she was mentioning something about Alpine. So I sent her a documentary I won't mention, but it's about Bigfoot in these areas, even way down in here. And yeah, they touch on Julian and there's a Borrego Springs. We talk about Borrego Sandman. And I guess Alpine is somewhere down in that area as well. I don't know. But I sent her that documentary and hopefully she'll find it informative. And anyway, just a little peek there. And then let's see. I gotta look up something else. Boom, boom. Nope. Hmm. Yeah, so I was just checking here to see if anything would pop up for Mount Baldy, and I couldn't find anything there. But there was, let's see, did we find anything here? I also checked this Bigfoot Encounters database. We've been bringing up some stuff from here, and I mean, this is all California here, which is awesome. Here we go. Uh but I found some in the San Bernardino Mountains. There's stuff around. Big Bear came up, but I couldn't find anything exactly in Mount Baldy. But I found one that said uh, Mount Baldwin, and I tried looking for that, and I couldn't find anything. And they mentioned the campground and everything, and I dug and dug and couldn't figure out where it was they were talking about. But there's a report here, and it's actually out of Ray Crow's collection, which is interesting. And y'all know David Politis bought Ray Crow's, right? Is it Ray Crow's Bigfoot collection? If I'm not mistaken, Ray Crow from Oregon. And I could have, I do mess up with these names, but someone will have to fact check me. And I know y'all are good at that, so feel free. Come check me if I'm wrong. Yeah, please correct me. I do not mind being correct. It's just here's the Big Bear. Touched on this Pasadena, Sycamore Flats, San Gabriel. And I'm just checking to see. I knew something had popped up. And look, there's Alpine for Robin M. Because Robin M was sharing with me an experience she had in the area. So there's a report here. Maybe we'll do this one of these nights and touch on uh, those areas further down in SoCal. All right, let's do this right quick, y'all. Hopefully, we still got somebody hanging out in the chat, but we're gonna give this a shot. Let's see. It's not. I'm trying to post something in the chat here. And it's not letting me. So I'm going to try this. Let me try. There we go. So it's letting me type in there. So now can I copy something and paste it? All right. Usually I'll try to like rush myself through this stuff but I'm taking it easy. It's New Year's, y'all. Give me a break. Everyone taking it easy in the chat, hopefully. And I was able to post it last time. I don't know why I can't do it now. Let's see. Send a message to yes. That's what I want to do. Weird. So we're going to give it another shot. Breathe. Yes. Let's do this. Yeah, I want to see if anyone wants to jump on here. And I could send you an email if I have it. Yeah, bummer. It's not letting me. We'll give it another shot in a bit. Let's see. Let's flow on to the next thing here. So I think we got our Bigfoot activity covered. And let's go ahead and maybe share some images of Mount Baldy area. Oh, here we go. Yeah, let's check out Homeboy's we're gonna check out Homeboy's Instagram here. So give me 1 second. And just a heads up that there might be the echoing. I'm gonna play the audio this time. We played this video last time with no audio, just because we were having that audio issue. Yeah. And the echoes aren't too bad, especially if you guys are recovering from New Year's, you're probably still echoing. All right, so where is the clip? Let's see. Here we go. All right, heads up, y'all. We're playing this, and I believe there's audio playing. Here we go. Dang it. Here we go. There's the audio.
Around Baldy Road Mount Baldy Village, and Manker Flats have reported deep, powerful screams echoing through the canyons at night. Many describe them as being too loud or too resonant to be coyotes or mountain lions. These early scream reports make these some of the oldest documented recurring Mount Baldy mysteries. Throughout the late 90s and early 2000s, multiple hikers would mention hearing heavy footsteps or something large moving parallel to them in the woods. And these were reported along the Baldy Bowl Trail and the Devil's Backbone. The witnesses said the movement sounded nothing like a bear, but sounded more like a heavy person pacing them from the trees. The 2009 Manker Flats screams. Campers at Manker Flats Campground reported hearing a series of long, rising howls late at night, long enough to echo across the canyon. This one had multiple witnesses. It actually sounds like the entire campground heard it because one of the groups that was there even packed up and left. 2010, we have the Watcher on the Ridge. Hikers on
Mm.
Devil's Backbone Trail reported seeing a tall human shaped silhouette standing perfectly still on a distant ridge. They said the figure was so tall it almost looked like the size of a tree. When they passed by the same spot on the hike back down, figure was gone. Some of the people in that group thought it was a trick of the fog that day, while others maintained there was an actual figure standing there on that ridge. A Reddit user hiking near Mount Baldy posted about seeing small humanoid shapes moving strangely in the brush, too fast and too smooth to be children or animals. Other hikers that were on the trail that same day claimed they had the feeling of being watched in that same area. And a few others even said they saw small shapes darting behind rocks. This story has become known as the Baldy Mysterious Sighting. Early this year, a widely shared post on Facebook described a massive non animal scream heard near Maker Flats early in the morning. Other locals began commenting saying that they have heard similar screams over the years. And that brings us to the most recent report. When a hiker and former LAPD officer was setting up to hike for the day, he reported hearing a loud, powerful howl coming from what appeared to be the end of Mount Baldy Road. He was actually able to record the last few seconds of the howl, but so far, the audio has not been released to the public. The witness submitted this report to the BFRO, and I think it's important to note that after they investigated and heard the audio, they published this account as a credible sighting on their page. I just want to say, release the audio. Let the public hear it and determine for themselves if this actually sounds like a Sasquatch howl. So that's what's going on in Mount Baldy, you guys. Definitely something going on here. For decades, hikers around Baldy Road, Mount Baldy Village, and Manker Flats have reported deep, powerful screams echoing.
All right. Cool. I was able to figure out how to stop it. There it is. Hopefully it wasn't echoing. And if it was, hopefully you were able to make out at least some of it. Or are you still
Echoing, 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 echoing.
all right? So one of the comments that stood out right away. I'm gonna read one. So this is our ninja right here, y'all. And if you're on YouTube or Instagram, make sure you go give my boy a follow. I always mention him here. And I was like, "Oh, there's the homie Jonathan. What up?" And there's actually look, there's a picture of him there. Boom. Go give Jonathan a follow. That's my ninja, my brother from another mother. Happy New Year's to you, Jonathan, and your family. One love. Yeah. This is one of my partners out in the field. I trust him. And so, we don't always agree with everything, but we're still friends. We've had different experience. We've had some experiences together. So, and yeah, he has his way of viewing things, and I have mine, and we get along. Anyway, so Jonathan, and hopefully he don't mind me reading it. I'm sure he doesn't. Says I have been searching for, and Jonathan used to live out here. He was avid hiker, just like my brother. Probably maybe even more than my brother. So he's hiked all around Southern California out here, a lot of experiences, a lot of miles under his belt, and not to mention all his squatching hours. A lot of those hours have been with me as well. Yes. So he says, I've been searching for Bigfoot evidence for over 10 years. Have also hiked the Baldy Range for years. Never heard or talked to anyone who has heard anything strange. And I gave him a heart, not only because he's my boy, but because I believe him. And at the same time, my brother, same thing. He's got like I said, he's got quite a bit under his belt running around these mountains out here. And it's not, I don't think he's had a sighting or anything yet. And I always ask him, try to see if he could remember something from his hikes, and nothing major yet. There's been a few little things, and one of these days we'll have him on and explain. But like, yeah, no solid Bigfoot activity or evidence for him, yet. Maybe something small, but so yeah, there's that. Make sure you check out the Bigfoot files. Let's see. Yeah, the Bigfoot files, y'all. And he's been posting quite a bit. Posted a new video today also from these areas that we're speaking of tonight and have been. And let's go ahead and exit this. Let's see. Boom. Cool. So next, let's see. Could we just do it like that? Let's give this a shot. How do I close this? There we go. I'll do that. Got it. Little navigating here, and Papa J, Happy New Year to you. 111. Let's see. He was saying something cool. No echo says PNW. Right on. Wow, what a blessing. Yeah, because that echo thing, there's been little things, little hiccups here. I mean, my streams, there's always something happening. And I know you just got to keep rolling with it. And hopefully we learn and keep getting better at this. And let's see. I wanted to touch on Papa J's because he had something to share. And I showed it up on the screen. But for those that are just listening, it says, I, 1976, saw a Bigfoot walking north just of 395 while I was pulled over to, dang it, while I was pulled over to sleep about 10 south of Red Mountain. I didn't even know it at the time. And I've heard that actually from someone that comes by the shop. He shared it. He was truck driving. He was up by, what is it? Northern Nevada, near Tahoe, the other side of Reno, near Reno area, and had some. And he jumped on camera, but didn't show his face, and explained his sighting and experience up that way with Bigfoot. And it says here also, he was way taller than the desert bush, and I didn't even register till much later when Bigfoot is more talked about. Yeah, and we hear that a lot more too. People, what up? Thank you, Blazer. Appreciate that, brother, coming in hot with the links there. Yeah, that they don't realize it till later that they hear people, talking about these things now, and it just raises red flags or rings a bell, or reminds them of something that may have happened way back. And that's why I still think of things like the time that I went to Big Bear. It was for my sixth grade graduation. I was graduating from a school in Glendale, and and they took us up there, which was super cool. I think I had gone kind. Maybe it was my first time camping without my family or parents. It was just like a bunch of other kids and the school adults and all that, and it was super fun. There's all types of camping activities. I was a little shy, felt a little intimidated, but I enjoyed just being out, sitting out in there's some boulders, and I could tell it was like October, November-ish. It was kind of cold, but it was a nice day. I could remember it. And then just that we were talking about the squatchy feeling the other night. I could sense it up there. I was like, oh yeah, I could sense, like, I could imagine because I could take myself back to that feeling now, and knowing that what I know now, I'm like, yeah, I could see why there's Bigfoot reports up here, why Bigfoot may be up there. Maybe not as often, not like up north or maybe the Sierras, but I think there's something going on out here for sure. And I'm gonna try and give this a shot again. What's up with Bigfoot fades? Why does AI always give Bigfoot a tail? Yeah, and it gives it funky feet sometimes. Um, let's ask. And you just reminded me of something too. There was another little article right quick since we were talking about the gaming and let's see right quick. Yeah, this is it. So there was another little thing. So we were talking about the Easter eggs, Bigfoot Easter eggs in video games that are coming out right now, which is super cool. And I was touching base uh on the previous stream, the Bigfoot Easter egg. It's titled Bigfoot Easter eggs, and I don't know what else, but I was making the connection. How I always felt like Bigfoot seems to be like an Easter egg of our realm, of our reality, because it's not supposed to exist. It's not supposed to be around, and it just, when it does appear, it's like this freak moment, like this weird, and that's how I feel it is. It's like the Easter egg, like this weird thing that maybe the Lord put in our reality just to kind of, yeah, because you got to break out of this matrix we're in. There's more stuff going on here, folks. And so Bigfoot peeks out every once in a while to give us that reminder. And so here is, let's see, it was a brave search. That's why I couldn't find it. Let's see. So check this here. It's mystery lores. Bigfoot set to join emoji family in 2026. So let's check this out right quick. And this is mystery lores. Looks like it says there. And it says Bigfoot set to join emoji family in 2026. And so I don't know what that means exactly. So, but we're going to have Bigfoot emojis now available. And actually I was able to make my own on my iPhone, because you know how you could yeah, you could make your own emojis and stickers and stuff like that. So I know I have some Bigfoot one that I made, and it says, on World Emoji Day, the Unicode Consortium announced new emoji designs arriving in 2026, highlighting Bigfoot. Yep. Also referred to as the hairy creature. This news has stirred excitement among emoji fans and advocate of folklore. And there it is too. They see they gave him kind of those funky feet. Uh, I would have liked the feet a little more flat, maybe. And yeah, if you're interested, if you're big, I'm big into the emojis, and I've heard the supposed connection between the emojis and these demon, like these demon sigils or symbols and stuff like that, which I found fascinating. Yeah, you could check out this report here. I'm not going to bore you by reading all of this. Let's see if we could show, there is an emoji. So I have this pad over here. It's the armor pad. Maybe I'll show it. But anyway, there, when I type in, like, in the search engine, when I put Yeti, the emojis usually pop up when you put the word or whatever. For Yeti, it pops up like a little ape. It looks like an ape. Well, it's a Yeti, but, and I thought that was super cool. So I don't know if that's a Samsung thing or what. All right, we're gonna give this a shot. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try to show you. And I would have thought that I got my meditation vibes going there. I would have thought that like Apple maybe would have been on top of that. That there would have been a Bigfoot emoji already out. But let's go here, for example. I'm gonna just try to put in a comment somewhere. Of course, it's not gonna work, right? Here we go. Go Yeti. Yeah. Of course, it's not popping up right now. Anyway, I'll do it. I'll snap a little picture of it and share the emoji with y'all. But it's a pretty cool one. And since I'm turning around, remind here, I got a few things I want to remind. So our butt ugly pet still doesn't have a name, folks. And I did bless him with Palo Santo. I purged them, exorcised them. Now we need to give him a name. It's got to be a fun one. That's the back of him. Because he's going to be hanging out with us now. Let me know. And let me know in the comments because I won't be able to see in the chat. We'll have to vote. And let's see here. So tomorrow and today I woke up. I was ready to, I was like 12:30. So Andy, salute to Andy. Happy New Year's, brother. And thank you for the invite and reminder. So Alien 8 UK. Maybe someone toss a hot link in the chat. He was like, dude, you ready to do the show? And I thought it was this morning. I was like, oh my goodness. All right. Got home late last night. You know, I was stuck in on the freeway and yeah. And so I got up this morning like a normal and I was like, yeah, we're not opening shop today. But Andy's like, hey, you ready to jump up? And so I got set up my studio, got showered up, ready to go. And I checked this channel and it says basically the show is for tomorrow. So tomorrow, 12:30 our time. We're gonna be hanging out over there and having pizza is what he calls it. Hopefully he orders pizza for chat. But yeah, we're gonna be hanging out there streaming, but I'm gonna be at the shop. It would have worked out perfect today because I had the day off, but tomorrow I gotta go. So I'm gonna be on duty. And the last time we did that, we had Heidi Pop on also, which was super fun. Much love to you, Heidi Pop. And I know you're moving out of Babylon here, which is great. Yeah, it's good news. And yeah, happy new year to you as well. And yeah, it's good luck with all the travels and the transition. No, it's not easy. But yeah, we're gonna be, I guess, doing the same thing, hanging out, chopping it up. Come have some fun if you're available. I know many of you have to work as well, but and here, let's see, I'm gonna try it again. Thank you for the link there, Blazer. You're amazing, bro. Amazing moderator, amazing comedian, amazing person all around. Blazer in the house. Yes, sir. Mhm. Yep. All right. So I'm trying to send the message again. Let's see if we could put a link. All right. I want to give everyone the opportunity to come hang out. Or at least that'll give me practice on how to bring people on. And I'm failing at that right now. Real good. Well, at least, like I said, I could send you a link. Anyone interested jumping on, if I have your email, let me know, and then I could send you a link. But we're gonna be doing that now for sure. Really, start once I figure it out. But yeah, give you all the opportunity to jump up here live, show your face. Now you don't have to show your face, but as I keep trying here, so I'm just copying the link and I'm trying to paste it in the chat. But anyway, let's move on to the. All right, Monster Quest. Y'all know, y'all heard Monster Quest is coming back. Yeah. Yeah, I heard the homie Henry May, and then I heard who was it? I think Stacy Brown as well. Stacy Brown had actually the guess you call him the new producer or whatever. Had him on his show. And so yeah, I was checking that out. Super cool. My I like Monster Quest. My bro liked it. It's one of those shows we watched. And we used to watch a lot of shows like that with pops, a lot of the UFO shows, the video captures, UFO video capture shows. A lot of those were hot in the 90s. That was fun. A lot of good memories and probably a big reason why I'm also into all this stuff. So into this stuff. Um, yeah, another thing I thought of also, because we do still have the map. It has not been unrolled. If someone has a report, see like Papa up in the chat, it'd be cool to stick his report onto the map here. Yeah, we have a map we have not unrolled. And eventually it'd be cool to like stick it in the background or something like that. And as we take reports, we will go dotting the map. And maybe it doesn't have to be all Bigfoot. Maybe we'll take strange missing persons cases or strange happenings and just kind of mix it up, and that'll be fun. I know it's all good. Hasn't been unrolled yet. There's not one pin here yet. Who wants to be the first one? And it's okay. Eventually it'll take the ball will start rolling on this. Another thing was I was thinking in the background we could have the list of things, like a little list of all the safety precautions, like, oh yeah, carry your let someone know where you're going, check the weather, have your transponder on, and your cell phone with the SOS feature, uh emergency blanket, um you know and you just keep it in the background so people constantly look at that. I think that'll be pretty cool. Just thinking of some things for the studio backdrop, as well as what we talked about, lava lamps, and how those could help scramble phones and stuff like that. We got to do a show on that. Get into it. See, who knows about that stuff? Should come on and teach us. And they look groovy. What else we got? The map, yes. Backdrop, studio ideas. Yeah, any other studio ideas for the backdrop, let us know, or anything else, you know. So the map, keep that in mind. You got strange reports, UFO sightings, even duende sightings, little people. Yeah, let's just mix it all up, and we'll get some colored pins and we'll figure it out. Dwarf mapping project. It'll be fun. It'll be educational for educational purposes. All right. Name for pet. Yeah, we got that sound check. So yeah, we keep forgetting to do the sound check. Poncho Zorch and everyone else listening to this after this, Happy New Year to you. Uh so let's see here. So sound check. I keep mentioning to do a sound check. I've been having audio trouble also with the turntables, so we'll do that in a minute here before we head out. As we're getting into 2 hours here. Jeez, and we will be doing more of these longer streams. Hmm. All right, let me just check my list here really quick. Yeah, let's do the sound check, and then we'll have a little peek around the Southland, see how some of these mountainous areas are looking, and then we'll just wrap it up. And yeah, no, thank you for bringing in the new year with me like this, y'all. This is super cool. Um, boom, yes, it's been fun. Thank you. One love, y'all. And luckily, the rain has stopped. The rain has stopped. Yeah, it was like that for New Year's. It's crazy. So quick sound check, and then let me check here if there were any other Oh, we didn't get into the Mount Baldy shares. Damn it. Yeah, no, hold on. We're gonna pump the brakes. We're hanging out, folks. Hang out. BD was trying to escape. Here, if let me spice it up a little bit. All right. We're gonna spice it up. And let's see here. So all right, we're gonna do it like this. That is over here. Got it. Now BD is working right now. Don't panic, BD. You got this. Oh, whoops. Oh, I shrunk that. Here, I'm trying to share something. So we're gonna do this back to regular size. There we go. Is that it? No. Just making this screen a little bigger. I'm gonna share some pictures and some videos with y'all right quick. Don't forget to network, y'all. Y'all got a channel. Y'all got some videos, some links. Share them with us. There we go. Getting it together here. There we go. Easy does it, Dorothy. Okay. All right, y'all can see that right there. So they summited, the boys summited. There's San Antonio. So that's the other name to it, I believe. Or Mount San Antonio, is it? Yeah, I guess so. Mount Baldy. Yes, 10,064 feet, the elevation. And let me try to. And then hopefully you could see that there. There's another shot of the mountains there. Very cool shot. And these are my brother's pictures. So not bad. Nice view there. And some of these are video also. There we go. There's a video. And hopefully you can see this on your end. Mount Baldy. Courtesy of bro. And let's see. Okay, we got another one here. That's the homie Politis. My brother, I told you, is our hiking partner. And I think they're getting ready to do Devil's Backbone. There's their summit. It's the summit there. Awesome. Yes, don't forget, let us know your strange Mount Baldy story or your strange story at all. Let's see here. This is another little clip. Sunset action. And I believe there's a whole story to this. Look at that. It's covered with clouds and other stuff. Oh, he's catching the end of it. And I think they had to come down in the dark, which is very dangerous. There's a whole story to this trip. This Mount Baldy trip wasn't just your average hike. Believe me, there's a story to this, and again, we'll get bro to do it. Here is we'll check out the Devil's Backbone again. This is where the accidents that recently happened, 3 fatalities on this Devil's Backbone here, and I think this is just a picture. Here's the video. Yeah, picture of it there. I don't know if yeah, this is the same trip. I don't know. I think he's done it a couple times, I want to say. And I won't say I don't know again. It's kind of defaulting to words there. But yeah, we'll run it again. I think Politis is ahead of them there already. He does that sometimes. He'll go ahead of you and kind of got to catch up with him.
So here we are. Made it to the Devil's Backbone. Sure, I pay attention right here because it's a long drop on either side.
Thank you, brother Jeff. I see your comment. So being up there with snow and the recent storm, he said it was very icy. You would need the proper gear, and yeah, that's it for that. Super cool. And I don't know, who knows if these hikers had it or not, it makes me wonder. And yeah, just a reminder again, we'll keep reminding folks, and it's a reminder to myself as well to yeah, safety first. What up, Diesel? Yo, yo, happy new year, brother. Brother Diesel in the house. Could Diesel get some, yes, some pyrotechnics? All right, we'll do this sound check really quick. I wanted to just see if the audio is working. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do any special tricks or anything. We're just gonna play a track, and hopefully someone will let me know. Oh, let's see, we gotta load this up first. Let me know on that end if there's any echoing or if there's any audio period. We'll do it like this. Oh yeah, I gotta hopefully remember. We'll see. We'll check the weather so we get used to doing that. But there's a couple other bonus clips, some crazy stuff, pretty crazy stuff. My brother and I always capturing things, and we don't always share them or post them, but I'll share with you all here in a second. We'll top it off with that tonight. There hasn't been any speed chases that I've seen, although we had one, I think it was yesterday morning. And let's see here. So quick sound check. Microphone checker. Actually have a anyone want to kick some freestyles, Bigfoot fades, come up and rap. Who got some anyone? Freestyle. Solvang, California is interesting and beautiful. They closed one of the Anderson's pea soup place in California. Yeah, I remember the Anderson pea. I always think of when I drive by there. I always think of The Exorcist because they said they used pea soup to do that scene where she like the head spinning and she barfs and everything. So I think of that when I see Anderson's. But Let's see. Thank you, Shelly. What was I gonna say? Something about they're closing another one in Saugus. I think it's the oldest restaurant in Los Angeles, and it's out here in Saugus. But you were saying, what's the name of that? Solvang. Yeah, Solvang. Isn't it a? Is it a Swedish or Danish town? And that's right here, right outside of LA. Actually, my grandma and sister and all them went up there sometime not too long ago last year. And it was cool. I was like, good. You guys went out, took a little trip. You rap some Aesop, right? I could do that. I could do follow along, sing along Aesop, um, karaoke, karaoke Aesop. And I seen your video you posted, Bigfoot Fades. That was super cool. Some Bigfoot AI music and stuff, and it was there in a he had a spit going like rotisserie spit. I don't know what he had there, like a pheasant or something. Then he was eating some salmon and drinking beer. Oh my lord, super cool. Let's see here. So sound check, microphone check. We'll just do it like that. And so look, what do we want? Should we sound check? Have do Lemuria breaks. Secret Stargate breaks. Do that.
I'm the Phantom.
Sound check. Do you hear anything in the chat? One, two, 1, 2. We got the milkman in the house. Jeff Yarrington. Any audio? Bim Jim, Happy New Year.
I do it all day. Yeah, I'm the Phantom.
All right. Hopefully we got sound out there. And I'll have to do another sound check from the shop with the turntables as well. But quick little. Hey, Gustavo. Se oye. Se oye, Gustavo. And you know what, Gustavo? I got I got a little gift from Argentina. These are from Argentina, man. Pretty cool slippers. Almost look like ninja slippers. Breaking them in. All right. So looks like we might have sound. I see some dancing emojis. Thank goodness. I hope that's the case. And let's see here. We're going to stop share there. Boom. All right. Before we head out, let's get a little visual, at least one place. I usually have a bunch of places set up, but let's just go ahead and have a quick view at Yosemite. Actually, there's several live cams. Let's see. at our LA live cam. There's one. Let's check it out. Let's share this channel out here. Let's see really quick. Whoops. So this is a YouTube channel. And I'm not sure. Okay. And it's cool because it's a house. And they are in Mount Shasta. So check this out. They have their camera up, and I don't know if it's snowing in Mount Shasta right now, but they have quite a bit of something. It looks buggy, looks orby, but it was looking really every once in a while you get this big old flush of whatever this is, and it goes flying through almost like it looks like a gust of wind with a bunch of debris going by, which is very possible as well. And we'll watch it here for a second. And I'll give you the name of the channel. See, but what's weird is that I'm not really noticing, and it just could be effects from the camera, but I'm not really noticing the trees moving like you would imagine they would with gusts of wind blowing. And I haven't seen any snow build up since the stream started, which is not too long ago. But still, I think by this time there would have been some buildup of snow and stuff. But yeah, it looks like first thing that comes to mind, like wind. See, look at that. It's like, whoa, what the heck was that? And maybe it is just wind. I don't know. But I thought it was a little odd. And the channel, they seem to be very aware. They mentioned about, UFOs. Usually during the day, you could see Mount Shasta in the background. So let's see, time for nowhere. We're gonna head on out here too. Thank you for hanging out, PNW. We'll be keeping an eye out for your videos. But yeah, I want to share this channel really quick before we head out, so you guys can check them out over on. Let's see, because I'm interested in checking out these feeds like this. Midwest Night Watchers, they have theirs. We talked about theirs, and usually aimed at the animals, the farm animals, and some they have facing out, so you'll see some strange stuff going by there too. But this is the healing place, Mount Shasta. So super cool name. And yeah, go check this channel out. Give them a follow, support them. And yeah, it's a cool thing to do, check out something live. You never know, you might get a Bigfoot crossing or some Lemurians popping up, or who knows, uh might pull up and have some fresh robot granny cookies for you. Who knows. Yeah, Mount Shasta is a trip like that. Anyway, so thank you all for hanging out. We're gonna head on out here. Let's see, hit our outro. Ooh, yeah, the trails are getting thick again. Good eye, good eye. One love, Bigfoot fades anytime. And like I said, I couldn't share the link in the chat, and I'll give it a shot one more time before we head out. But if you, I think we might be able to. I know I have your email. Oh, there it is. Look, all of a sudden, towards the end of everything, now it wants to do it. Dang it. So there it is, link to the studio. And if someone wants to jump on really quick, we could do a little test. We could say what's up. Doesn't matter. If not, we'll aim for next time. I know we're going at let's see, almost 2.5 hours. Like boo. Um, but we'll see. If someone clicks it, then we'll give it a quick test shot, and who knows, might turn into something there. Anyway, yeah, much love to everyone for hanging out. And Bimchin says, yep. Damn, why'd you do it all of a sudden at the end of the show? Anyway, we out, y'all.